Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Arthur with the weekly car roundup. February 2025. This is day 32 of the year 2025, and I hope you're doing. We are in the month of love. Someone posted a member and they were saying that we got away from the month where people be eating badly because they don't have money, and we have entered the month where people are pretending to love each other because, well, it's a month of love. So right now, this is the month they say that chicks are being sweet to guys because, well, Valentine's is around the corner, and this is the month that guys literally don't meet any chicks, okay, until they meet until 10th, and then after 10th they don't meet them until like 16th. Ate abamba bagenda kwewamba ku 13th bagamba ate nafunye ebizibu kati siriwo. But it's the month of love. I hope you're doing well. We have a lot of sad news that is going on in Uganda, and I just don't want to share it. Let's start off with what this month means for us, the car lovers. We're gonna make them jump. We're gonna make them dance. Now, first of all, 14th February is going to be Valentine's Day. And it's the month of love, it's the day of love, so it's going to be the month of love for our cars. Which take it. So many enthusiasts are going to celebrate the love for their cars. You see, there used to be a guy that painted his car red. So everyone where you are, this should be the month where you take care of your car. If you have never deep cleaned your car, do it. If your bumpers look ragged, go and spray them. If your car doesn't have tires, buy them. If you have wanted to buy sport rims for a very long time, buy sport rims. One thing you guys need to understand is that a moroka te disappointing. We can sold you a service. Memubuze sekatawa. Ate sekatawa tajuwa na service na yera it doesn't disappoint. So the car doesn't disappoint. Just show it love. And around the world, people are going to be celebrating their cars. You guys are going to see. The Saturday after 14th, I'm going to share people that celebrated their cars, that decorated them, that made tributes to them. People have had cars in Gajivugid the 20 years. Yesterday I was in the bond. We were inspecting cars for a certain lady, and she was saying, nze mvuze moroka yange for 10 years. Era neno je ngenda ogula. Ngenda givuga for a very, very long time. Okitegeera. So there are people that actually, they later on I got to understand. Yavuge moroka ipaka bwe yagolu vege. Ngetambulate. Na agitunda. Nga yamayite inza nakutereera. Bwe yagitunze kwe kujja mu bondi ate yewemu ekintu ekipya. But this is the month of love. Love your cars. If you love your car, it will love you right back. And then, of course, in this very month, about Chicago, you guys have the Chicago Auto Show. It happens every February. So you're going to see new models of cars coming to see. It would be nice for the guys that are in the US. About Chicago, you shoot some videos for us. Those videos, I don't have copyright claims. So those in the weekly roundup here next week. And of course, in Daytona, USA, now by the motorsport. But you NASCAR. So NASCAR season is going to be starting now in this very month. And of course, the guys that are in the cold regions, February is the month that you start dealing with winter conditions. So you ensure that everything is ready. Winter tires and all that. And then of course, automakers reveal new car models in this month. So katuberinga tulinde bintu bigenda kuba bijja. Mwezi kwa February, it's actually good for us. And then of course, Formula 1, they are starting the pre-season. Orubageze moroka, you guys have seen it. Nimwana abantu abagenda motocross yaffe. Wana bagenda mu rally, mu racing wane waffe. They get they get to go and test the tracks ne bala bitambuleta ne bakuba map ya bulungi, and then they strategize. So that's what's going to be happening. But for you, the common car owner that you're not in the US, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see new models of cars. This is your month to actually show love to your car. Yesterday I was on the broadcast and someone shared nagamba bali ne chaliwa bali okucheyo na embo omukazi yekola obusolosolo gaye omutima gumuluma ayagala na kwetuga emmoroka tegenda of course waliwo ekika ky'emmoroka kyogula ne kikuyisanga omukazi atakwagala nti atandika okukolako emikolo n'emmoroka bwekola ng'ogiraba ng'emmoroka abagiraba ebweru ng'ogivuga balaba y'amaanyi naye gwagitudde munda gwakiwulira. Okitegeera, today I found a Volkswagen bakiyita batakina ekimoroka ekifaanana bweshi nga kifiiridde ku kkubo, and the person that was inside ngaali gloomy. Okitegeera bw'aba agyozeza bulungi ng'agivuga, people would actually admire him. Naye kati ye nga kimukolako emikolo. But you buy the right car and you'll not have to suffer. But we have a lot of bad news in Uganda, more than the good news. But today I have some good news. I hope it actually stays good. So Uganda has an e-mobility structure, and they are planning to make sure that all passenger vehicles and all border borders or motorcycles are using electricity by 2030. So that's the plan. So they have 7 points. They have 7 points that they are looking at exploiting. They have a strategy that has 7 points that they are going to put out. Yeah. So they have priorities, and priority number 1 is that they want to start manufacturing locally, which they are already doing with the Kira EV or Chisegira. So they want to manufacture all these vehicles, motorcycles and cars, and it's already happening. Abapanga pitch. I don't think we should be saying manufacturing. We should be saying assembling. So the motorcycle guys are already assembling electric motorcycles here, and of course, what they are looking at is that buli kimu tubenga tupangira wane moroka yaffe nebera neggwa nga bwe bapanga basi nga bwe bapanga bukira even nga bwe bapanga boda boda. That's the first priority. Priority number 2 is they are looking at manufacturing electric vehicle batteries here wano locally. Ochitegera nazo izo batteries balibinga nabo bazikwa, because if you think about it, an electric vehicle majority of the cost goes to the battery, because ogenda gule moroka ya milioni 4 iri andalife ofulume milioni 7. Ochitegera choka normal engines are normally like 3 million, 2.5. The gearboxes are literally all the same, around the same angle. Kate the electric vehicle ogamba nti irianda libera lya bei nyomo EV okusinga ebintu. So they are also looking at manufacturing batteries locally, and then of course then the third priority is making sure public transport is fully electric. Taxis, buses, borders. I don't know if they are going to look at trains as well, but all public transport bagala mukolaga na ye ali fully electric. And then they're looking at establishing a charging network. Waliko posta already there is a charging point. There are majority of many charging points that are being developed right now. Nene yok post office na yote natandika koda, but they are doing that. So they're working on that. And priority number 6 is human capital development. You have to understand that when we start manufacturing electric vehicles here locally, then jobs are going to be created. People will be getting jobs. Ochitegera abakola amanda, abapanga moroka, aba welding, aba design, our engineers nga engineer mugarura, they are going to start working here. So they are looking at developing the human capital that will be responsible for making these electric vehicles. And then of course, priority number 6 is EV uptake. They are going to encourage people to start taking up buying these EVs. But though I don't know how they plan to do that. The best strategy for doing that would be to make the cars as cheap as possible. Ziberenga omuntu agula electric vehicle ku milioni 30, people will start buying those vehicles. Naibwe zinawo zikyali eri milioni 7. People are going to keep buying their gasoline powered vehicles. And then of course, priority number 7 is making standards. Until once they create standards, you see, when you're manufacturing soda, there is standards. Baina nakatawaka gamba soda inakuba bwati nebwati. So they don't have standards for electric vehicles yet. But once they create standards, even someone that lives in Masaka will be able to start manufacturing EVs as long as they can manufacture them on the standard set. So yes, the EV mobility strategy that is coming back out of government, whoever is responsible, I hope tebagiremesa. Ugandans balemesa ebintu. One of our friends on YouTube shared a friend of his yafunachi project nga achireta nga afunyile bufani nga achirete Kampala. But when he got to Kampala, the guys in ministry, not the ministers, the guys in ministries, about the minister was involved at that time, I don't know. But the guys in the ministry wanted Nguzi, nga it's bigger than even the project itself. Nga sente bagala nyingi okusinga nizigenda okukola project. So guy nabivako naddayo ewaabwe ewa in Europe, kati jawanga yagenda olaba nga Uganda talina kyakugikyusa. Okitegeera. So but I hope this actually goes through, and by 2030 we have all public transportation EV, and then the plan is that by 2040 mbunafa abavuga motoka zaffe zabulijjo mutujja batuvuga za masanyaze. I don't know how that is going to work out, but I wish whoever is in this project luck. I hope it's not just a money minting scheme like we have seen many of those happening here in Kampala. And of course, even the European Union is having discussions with automakers and suppliers okitegeera, trade unions trying to make sure that these things also work. Nabo bagala kuyambako to push this. You know, the EU and of course United States government have been very, of course, until Trump came in, agamba kati fe sente zetuba tuzisazeeko, but the EU is also doing that as well. Jump, 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 jump. And in Kanungu, we have bad news here. On the 25th of January at around 9:50, a Land Cruiser zinezivuga abarambuzi was navigating a corner and it overturned multiple times. It had 3 tourists here, American tourists, Harrison Evan Sheldman, Ngamunimu Zachary Avayo, Onomo Medica, and then Frederick Jeremy Wright. They had just come from Goria trekking in Bwindi, Impenetrable National Park, and yeah, guy failed. And those Land Cruisers should not be going very fast. They are not very aerodynamic, so they cannot really do sharp corners very well. So it overturned, and you guys saw pictures, police posted these images, and it's sad that happened. And I find that, personally, I still think that the tourist vehicles that we have locally are not good. No, they are not. Of course, they are expensive, and I know better trucks would be more expensive, but I still think the government should make it, those cars are better, probably better technology, airbags and all those things. And I don't find them I don't find them safe, and I know it's going to be a very unpopular opinion, but they make a lot of money. Should be able to get safer vans, yeah. But I'm sure one of the reasons why these people died was because that truck is purely metal all around. It's metal. Once it overturns like this, every bone in your body can actually break. So I think we should look at getting safer vehicles, but also the people that are driving these cars should know that those cars are not safe up to standard. So basivuge mpora ochitegeera nebo atebo okowa sleep. So we lost people here, and this is affecting the tourist industry, because now people are going to start scrutinizing the vehicles that you guys are driving, and abambalikide bagano okujja. So I find that, yes, sometimes it's good, like people want to claim that mukama bwaba yagadde, but the cars are not safe. And of course that's why for me I fear going okuvuga highways into okutambula, because first of all Ugandan highways are very, very tiny, obugudo obutono. We have a lot of sharp corners, and then on top of that we have a lot of other reckless drivers. So you might find that this person tried to negotiate a corner na asanga yo wa border, and of course kati wa border ye yawonye, kati wa border ayita mbuyisi na agenda tasobola na kuyimira waawo. But that's very sad. And then of course I saw a Vitz in Chira that overturned nakuba abapichi, and then natomera ne motoka y'omuntu omulala, abapichi bo baafiiriddewo, ab'emmotoka baawonye, then the Vitz guy ye naayitamu. It's about the guys that are driving Vitz RS, the Vitz that are 1.3 and 1.5. Your cars are not racing vehicles. The suspension system was not built for that. Your gearboxes were not built for that. Your body, the bodies of the car, the aerodynamics simply does not work for racing. So when you try to drive that car really fast, ogenda kutta abantu. And I've seen people drive. And of course, I've been reading about the Subaru Technica International technology, the STI. And most of the guys that are also driving Subarus, your cars are not racing cars. But that's a topic for another day. We'll probably handle that topic so that we understand what car should be racing, what car should be going so fast, and what car should not. But it's sad for the border guys that died. I actually saw someone was actually live broadcasting it in Agamba. Oh no, bobo inaguomanyi, and then someone was saying twalide na HM sana kugamba abana bavuga bu vitizo obu 135. Your cars are not racing vehicles, yeah? So be careful as you drive them. And then of course also in Kabale district, you guys stop driving small cars like they are taxis. In Kabale on 27th, someone was driving a Corolla Chikumi nga javuga taxi nga inamu abantu bangi, emotoka ne bafuna accident, and 3 people died immediately. Wabaddeko omukazi Nanteza Lois 37, Bagarukene Oliver 48, and Insima Kate okitegeera. And then other people got injuries. Normally the thing that happens with cars that roll, the driver sees the accident coming, yene yeekwata. anyweza steering ati ne waba tayina mu sipi steering emuyambako yaba ne momentum, but the rest of you guys don't see, which is why you guys should be using seat belts at all times. Use seat belts at all times so that at least emotoka bwebefunyemu omusipi gukwatanze batabani bangi olutuula seat belts on. Why? Because I know the seat belt can be a saving. Kuba ye driver chiraba neita chiraba. So 3 people died and others got injured. Abala nebajira. And it's also because of the overloading. I don't know. Police ye muchare simanyi bwekola. We hear it every day. Omwana akwata abantu 12 n'ateeka mu 10. Naita ku police n'abawe 12. Okitegera balinga be bateekawo okusolooza. You are the ones killing our people. So the police in Kabale, the blood of these people is on your hands. Why? Because this person abadde avuga emmoloka eyo constantly nga abayitako n'abawaya akasente n'abayitako n'abawaya akasente. This is not safe. Okitegera. But also the blood is on the government's hands. The reason why people are doing things like this is because they don't have employment, their businesses can't survive. Kati yeeyiya atanakotika abantu 12 mu 10. It's really sad. And of course in Pakistan, mumanyi LPG. So LPG is liquefied liquid gas. That's the gas we use to cook at home. The truck yakutua omuliro okitegeera. And of course LPG is it's too dangerous. I know people that fear using LPG because bachimanyi LPG can actually catch fire okitegeera, or it can explode. And so 5 people died and so many other people were injured. So when you see a truck traveling, the police is saying that it was because of a leakage. Manyo gas ne bafuna muka leakage katono bwe kati, it can actually cause an explosion. So for the guys, even the guys that are using gas at home, we have seen people getting multiple burns. I've seen a kid at urban school yajja yenna rakubanti bazaddeyo balina sente bamutwani bamukola surgery. But gas is dangerous. For the guys that have built your own homes, you should be able to put the gas cylinders outside the kitchens or isembuisa pipes, so that no explosion, at least majority of the explosion happens outside. We have seen kitchens, they have their gas cylinders outside. We've seen hospitals. I've been to Mulago Hospital, the cylinders are outside. So if you're building your house, you should plan to have, they have those additions they put there, gas multiple times, so that you're actually safer. But it's sad what happened in Pakistan as well. And in Singapore, in a place called Bukit Merah, emoroka zekubye musanvu 7 cars. It happened here. It happens a lot on the Northern Bypass, but it happened 7 cars. Of course, normally under circumstances like this, no one is willing to take the blame. The person in the front will say, Orianto Medde. And then everyone in behind that person that knocked first will say, oh yes. So it's very hard for you to find out whose fault it is, unless we have a security camera for us to see what actually happened. But majority of the time, it's either the person that knocked first was on the phone, or the person that was in front was also on phone and stopped abruptly, and the person behind him knocked him. Normally, that's what happens. And then the rest of the people are also on phone. So when you're driving a car, please don't use a phone. That's majority of the time when we have accidents like that, it's because people are using their phones when driving. So don't do that. And in Burkina Faso, they unveiled a fully electric vehicle. You know, Burkina Faso is popular for Ibrahim Traore. I think he's the youngest president in Africa. 35 years. And he's doing magic. He has transformed his economy. And there are people that are saying economies are not transformed like that. I've seen people here. Tosobola kulakulana ku level ya kika kya waggulu, olina kulakulana nga ffe wano. Traore alabye n'abantu. Ntosobola kulakulana kweyo mbu okulakulana ku speed y'ekika ekyagulu. You will see in the future. Ani akugambye. But anyway, they revealed a fully electric vehicles, and it gives you a range of 330 kilometers on a single 30-minute charge. This is big, yeah. It's being produced there, bagarabajitunde locally, so that they also, you know, when people are starting to push the EV mandate, the EV thing, it's in a way to protect the environment, because I'm after gafulumia emissions na ye emodoka eziri electric tezifulumia any kind of emissions. And then of course you guys had you had that in Zimbabwe someone created a car that runs on waves, which tegeera on radio waves into yes gale tambula tegwa amafuta tegwa mu kite charging which tegeera kati the radio waves, like what is coming from here, I'm talking in the microphone pa Radio waves. Those nezo nazo radio waves. You sure? Zino kati ngeziva mu simu muno. That car will never die. Amasimu mangi. So it's going to be getting radio waves and then it will keep running and running and running and running. So yeah, but we are getting developments in Africa. Nafe wana Uganda tuyina EV bus. Je bayita chira. Bajita bata? Wakule nume. Kayola bus. Nafe wana Uganda tuyina Kayola bus. And it's working, it's doing magic along the roads. Abana barambula kati zebapangisa ne bagenda ne barambula. We've seen those Kayolas taking people to the airport. Nafe, we are doing big things. The small ones have just refused a little. But we are also doing big things. And of course, this week again, Twagenze, and we saw Night Ampuridwe, Netumuteramu Tracker, and we had a chat. We had a chat, of course, Netunyumyamu. Oh, I saw Kobarage Betwanyumizam. Emoroka bwechusize eti obulamu.
Mama. Ekigambo kibaita moroka kireke mwanyinazi. Ene moroka. Abankugamba ntya. Ekigambo kibaita moroka kireke. Ateze nebalize bera abantu abakansa abalugumya. Nefuna amagezi agayiga emotoka.
Soko nyomize kubakanso.
Mama. Abo bofu kamira ne kumavivi bwenti. Weba yiwe ndera basebo banyawo kumbi.
Ati akugoba yakuweku.
Beba abampa amagezi. Omuntu ayina yidde emotoka. Omuntu ayina tetenkanya obulamu. Bali bakanso.
So that's there's a lot to learn about Night. We are uploading the full video of me talking to Night on the channel later on, but that's a bit of what happened. She was really happy to see me. It was nice to see her and chat with her and her kids, and of course the plans she has for the future. Of course, God is majority of her plans, which you guys should pick a leaf on and also start having God in majority of your plans. Yeah, checho. So Night kati aina tracker emoroka yagirabira ku simu but najira bantu kakati edirudawa kakati egenze mutukura kakati ediwa. Next time the mechanic tries to take her car, she will know. And of course it's the mechanic that just wanted to extort money. Tewali nsonga yabadde mutwaza moroka. But of course you guys will see the full interview later. This week's comparison, I want us to talk about the Subarus, two versions of Subarus, the STIs, and STI stands for Subaru Technica International. This is the arm of Subaru that makes performance vehicles for Subaru. These are cars that are made for the track, for the race track. Za kurwana, za kupambana, za kuduka, they're performance vehicles. And why I wanted to talk about this and the normal Subaru XT like that is because it's important that for us that we understand why you cannot drive every Subaru like it's a performance car. The Subarus that you guys buy from the Bond, the XTs, are not performance cars. As long as it's not an STI, it's not a performance vehicle. Now, I just want to talk about the basic differences that everyone should understand, so that the next time you go to the Bond to buy a car and you want something that is performance, then you know what to buy. Let me just summarize it like this. If you want something that you can drive on the weekend, go to the rallies in Masaka, gendo nyumirwemu, go very fast on the track, buy the STI. If you want a Subaru you can drive daily like a normal car, buy any other Subaru. Ontegede. The reason why you guys blow your engines, the reasons why your engines overheat is because you're driving regular daily drivers as STIs. Somehow, you guys have been lied to that every Subaru is a performance car. You end up mistaking your car for the STI. The reason why even Toyota has the GR, the Mercedes-Benz also has the AMG, I think the BMW has the AM series. The reason why these manufacturers have these wings of their production lines is because they are creating something that is made for the car enthusiasts. So if you're not a car enthusiast, don't buy the STI, but when you buy the regular Subaru, drive it like the regular Subaru. Let's just go through some of the differences that I have here. One, you need to understand that the suspension of this car, the STI, is made for performance. okitegeera suspension ebeera ngumu. You'll see it's not comfortable. Ontegeera, it's not meant to make you comfortable. It's made to perform. Until you hit a pothole that is deep, boom, nekoona. Okitegeera, nevaayo. But your regular Subaru XT is made for comfort. Yesterday we were in the Bond and we were inspecting, and we went and saw a 2019 Subaru Forester. It's comfortable. You'll think it's a Land Cruiser or something. The STI version of that car would feel different. The suspension would not be comfortable. It would not be rocky. It would not be like that. And the brakes, STI jane brakes is a Brembo. Tejane regular brakes is because the other car was meant to perform a duke esibirewo. The braking system is actually made to work properly. Okitegeera bazikola nga ziri 6 piston maaso emabega nga waliyo 2 pistons. Okitegeera even the rotors are big, the calipers are big. Na ingeza these normal cars, the Subaru Foresters are like they are normal. That's why mugenda bagamba baguze brakes ne bagenda ne bazoocha nako wali. But you cannot do that for the STI, which is why STIs are very expensive to also maintain. Era n'abaziyina abazimanyi tebazivuga buli lunaku. Okitegeera. Let's look at the interior and exterior. So when you look at the exterior of the STI, when you look at it, it will look aggressive. It's like a lion. It wants to pounce. When you look at the normal Subarus, even turbocharged ones, they're like that. Tebina jibikanga. Okitegeera biri awo webitu biringa ebitamidde biringa ebikuse, but the STI looks really aggressive. And of course when you look, they have spoilers, they have hood zemuyite nyindo, they have all the, and they come from the factory made like that. Tebazikolera wano. You don't go to a normal body shop in Uganda and it does that. These things come with it. Yesterday we saw a Harrier Kaundo that is like that. Of course, it's not made for racing, but interior is built. Katulaba the STIs. Even their seats, their bucket seats, it has really branded STIs. Some STIs, even the steering wheel, they have the label STI. Okitegeera. Now, then someone will ask, can't I get those things and put them in my car? Yes, you can, but doesn't make it an STI. And baby tuunda JVD, you can buy those things. There I've seen cars here that have the labeling STI. It's not an STI. So even the interior is different. It's not made for comfort. The interior is made for you to feel the power that you're driving. Okitegeera. Even the engines, when you look at the engines, for example, erejane EJ25 ngera yo normal Foresters, but the EJ25 is different. Okitegeera. It's made, you can modify it as much as you want because it's an STI. It's made for performance. Ne tabo yayo teringa tabo yo yemorokene ndala. That's why taboza mwezifa, because you're driving a normal Subaru atengo jivuganga STI. You find an AMG, a Mercedes-Benz AMG on the road, no yaga duke nayo. You find a GR, a Toyota GR, no yaga duke nayo. Nenga yoka is normal, it's ordinary. So it's important that you understand what the key differences are. Right, let's look at the performance. The performance of the STI and the performance of your non-STI turbocharged Subaru. The engine in STI is normally 2.5 and it's the EJ25 2.2. Your other Subarus, the turbocharged ones, will have the EJ202. Okitegeera, the EJ202, and even those that have the 2.5, it's not the same that the STIs have. And in terms of power, it will give you 310 horsepower, and it will give you about 290 pounds of torque. Yet the normal Subaru will give you 260 to 270 horsepower. Na yebe ina amanyi. Okitegeera, but ezisinga zikuwa 250 horsepower. Kati tosobola kujja oyagale moroke netali STI ekuwa amanyi gegama. I've seen guys, they are gearing up for a Kataka's race, yeah. So wherever you go, ate tewaba STI ajja no yagalo mwepankire ko okubo ine moroke ina tabo. Not all tabos are the same. Okitegeera. And then of course you need to understand that the STIs are made for durability. Bazikola kuwangala era zigenda kuwangala. So then you have to ask yourself, yange bagikola naye wangalenga STI. Atera manya nti the STIs were not made to be daily drivers. Chohola ni sound yayo je bakola. The way it's made for you to just go to the track and enjoy. So the next time you're buying a Subaru, know the difference. Car tip of the week, guys. When you go to the Bond to buy a car, normally they'll tell you what tire, even the logbook will tell you what tire size it's recommended for this car. And we have a habit of changing the tires. I too used to have the habit. Even the car I drive right now, I put bigger tires. One of the reasons I put bigger tires was because the bigger tires were cheaper than the stock tires. But the stock tires that were made for that car are the tires that are meant to give you optimum performance and fuel efficiency, which we are constantly looking for. So if you're driving a car and it's not giving you the right mileage, you need to look at the tires that you have on your car right now and figure out, are these the tires that came with the car? If they're not the tires that came with the car, then you need to change the next time those tires get worn out and buy the actual size that is recommended for that car. Otherwise, ogenda kusigala ng'okyafuna buy bad mileage. So you cannot blame the car when that happens. So I'm personally going to switch back to the original tire size, because when I was driving the original tire size, I used to get very good mileage. When I switched to the bigger tires, my mileage went low. I tried to see what's wrong with the car until I figured out that it was actually the tires. So for the guys that are buying cars from the bond, the guys that are buying cars that don't have tires right now, this is your best chance to actually put the right tire size on your car. Thank you very much, guys, for being part of this weekly car roundup. And okay, wait for the video where I was chatting with Knight, yeah, and of course a bunch of other videos that are coming. Thank you very much for choosing to keep it for the love of cars. Until the next car weekly roundup. Ciao.